So, lads, today we have to talk about the Indiana Fever and whether or not they have any chance at all of winning, of doing anything, or should they just tank? Should they just tank? Is the question that a lot of people are asking. A lot of people are asking, should the Indiana Fever just say, you know what, we're going nowhere this year. We're going nowhere this year. We don't have a shot of winning. Other teams are better than us, and when it comes to this draft, this is a draft where we can get a franchise. No, I'm not gonna say franchise changing talent, but we can get a long-term piece beside Caitlin Clark in this year's draft if we tank. And we have to actually discuss that. And for me, it all just depends on the severity of Caitlin Clark's injury. I think there is a good chance that the Indiana Fever lose in the first round of the playoffs, even if Caitlin Clark's healthy. I don't think the Indiana Fever are going to beat the Liberty, and the Indiana Fever are going to beat the Lynx. I think that they have a shot of beating the Phoenix Mercury. I think that's a close series, but they got to get to the 6th seed to do that. To get to the 6th seed, you got to be a little bit over 500. It's not going to be like last year. They got to be a little bit over 500, because if you guys haven't seen the standings right now, the Fever are 6, but the Fever can go to 8 if they lose tonight. So tonight, if you're looking, the Indiana Fever might go to 12-12. The Aces are facing someone they should beat, aren't they? So tonight, the Aces are playing. Oh no, it's the Dream. The Aces could beat the Dream tonight, especially with Ryan Howard out injured. So the Aces probably should beat the Dream. And obviously the Lynx are going to win against the Sky. The Sparks are playing the Mystics. The Mystics should beat the Sparks. But I think the Sparks beat the Mystics last time they played. Either way, there is a chance that the Indiana Fever fall to the 8th seed tonight if they go 12-12. And the Valkyries, their next game is a very winnable one. Like, they play against the Dallas Wings in their next game. So we could be going into the weekend. Like, if the Fever lose to the Indiana Fever, or lose to the Aces on Thursday and lose tonight, we could go into the weekend looking at the Indiana Fever out of the playoffs. And that is a couple of games. Like, we have to not make the assumption. We have to think that Caitlin Clark is going to be out till at least mid-August. That's the way we have to look at it, because there's been too many back-to-back injuries. They're going to in the end, just about be able to stay afloat, I think. And the problem is the Fever I think they have a bit of a weird schedule. And I'm not saying like it's the toughest schedule in the world. They have a weird schedule. Like the Sky this current Chicago Sky team aren't an easy out. It just depends. And if Ariel Atkins plays, I would think the Sky are going to win. If Ariel Atkins doesn't play, I'm going to give the Fever I'm going to give advantage Fever. But like if the Fever have very they play the Wings, they play the Sky, and it's the Sparks, but it's Mercury. They don't play 2 easy games in a row till 10th and 13th of August. And you kind of hope Caitlin Clark's back around this stage, because let's just say with my predictions. And again, I'm unfortunately on a three correct prediction streak. So lose tonight, 12-12. Lose to the Aces, 12-13. And then versus the Sky, I don't know. I don't know if Ariel Atkins plays. I think that's what it's going to be. But I'm going to go win versus the Sky. Lose against the Mercury. I just don't. Assuming Caitlin Clark's out, I just think the Wings got us once. I think we played them 4 times against 3-1 Fever, but I think the Wings got us once. I think the Storm get us. I think the Sparks get us again. They're a bad matchup, and without Caitlin Clark, I don't think we have the firepower. I think the Mercury get us again. And I'm going to call us to beat the Sky on the 10th, and I'm calling us to beat the Wings here. So we could be going into mid-August. 2 games below 500? 2 or 3 games below 500. And then that's at the stage where it's like the best you can do possibly is finish in that 8th seed. Finish in that 7th or 8th seed and lose in the first round of the playoffs. And the problem is that you're guaranteed a top 5 pick if you don't make the playoffs. And if you do make the playoffs, the picks start at 8. And I understand the difference between 5 and 8 isn't the end of the world. But when you look at a top 5 where you can get any one of, I don't think Lauren Betts really fits. I don't know how she fits with Leah Boston, so I'm going to take Lauren Betts out of that. But you can get one of Awa Pham, Azzi Fudd, Flaw J. Johnson, or Tania Latson. And you just don't know what's going to happen up to that point. But then when you're looking at the 8th pick, you go down to Hannah Stulke, Gianna Neepkins, Saffron Shields, depending on how she comes back from injury. Like, it's one of those things, like Sarah Williams. Like, the 2026 WNBA mock draft has a huge drop-off after the top 5. It really, really does. And again, look, the ESPN one is a bit ridiculous because I don't think the ESPN has Awa Pham in there. So if you're looking here, Lauren Betts, Azzi Fudd, Olivia Miles as well. Again, I don't think the Fever are going to take Olivia Miles. But you're looking at those 5 with Awa Pham. If you get any of them, like, the Fever aren't going to take Olivia Miles, but what that means is someone might take Olivia Miles at 1, and you might be able to get one of Azzi Fudd, Tania Latson, Flaw J, or Awa Pham. Like, and then if you're going at like 8, you're down to like Sarah Williams. I don't think that really matters. Gianna Neepkins, Chloe Kitts, Garzon, Reagan Beers, Kiki Rice, Rory Harmon, Akot. None of these fit. None of these players fit in the starting 5. None of them. Like, none of these come in and start for the Fever. Whereas if you go top 5 or 6 with these 5 and Awa Pham, yes, there's some that don't fit, as in like Olivia Miles doesn't fit. Lauren Betts doesn't necessarily fit. But the fact is that if you've got a top 5 pick, it's not like Olivia Miles and Lauren Betts, if your 5th pick, are going to fall to 5 and 6. They're not going to. They're going to be top 3 or 4 picks. But, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. And I just think that the Fever organization have to at least, if shit hits the fan, they have to consider it. If Caitlin Clark is going to be out till near the end of August, if it turns out that Caitlin's out for a month, if she's out for a month, I think you just pull the plug. If the Indiana Fever at any stage go 4 games below 500, I think you pull the plug. If they end up 4 games below 500 coming out of this injury, you pull the plug. Like, if there's a scenario where the Fever go on a 5-6 game losing streak, which can happen, by the way. Like, it's not with the teams that they're coming up against. If they lose to the Sky, there is a good chance they go on a 4-game losing streak. It's literally, if they lose the Sky game, they need to beat one of the Aces, the Mercury, or the Liberty. And I don't think they're winning any of those 3 games. The Aces want revenge after the last time. I don't think they're winning one of those 3 games. So, if they lose to the Sky, it's a 4-game losing streak. And 4-game losing streaks can turn into 5-6-game losing streaks very quick. We even saw last year, they basically took their foot off the gas and went on a little bit of a losing streak ending the season after they went 18-20, and it kind of bled into the playoffs a little bit for game 1. It can happen. So, if they go on a bit of a losing streak, and let's say, again, by the time Caitlin Clark comes back, they're 4 games below 500. Again, this is just a hypothetical. I don't know if it's worth it trying to push Caitlin Clark back, and trying to push Caitlin Clark, have her play too hard, trying to drag this team back to the playoffs, when you're not going to make the playoffs anyway. Or if you're going to make the playoffs anyway, you're going to go and make the playoffs just to get blitzed by one of the 2 teams that are much better than you, regardless of Caitlin Clark. And if she expends all her energy dragging you into the playoffs, then, I mean, what's the point? But anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.